Welcome, Donna Iona Drozda here at Wren House Studio with day 2 out of 3 days of opening to the East Gate and stepping into the new natural year. We're looking at natural, circadian, feminine time, and the idea of getting out of the linear mindset that we constantly have to be trying to get somewhere and allowing ourselves to get into the flow of a spiral dance through natural time. I'm so glad you're here. I'm looking forward to sharing with you today a second idea, a journal prompt, and a creative engagement so that each of us in our own way is beginning to mine the seed vision for our new natural year. It's so thrilling to be able to come together and to recognize that each and every one of us is seeing through the lens of our own heart's work, our own work of our hands, the work of our heart, the work of our focused mind. And we want our mind to be focused upon wellness, upon balance, which is one of the beauties about the equinox points in each natural year. The spring equinox and the fall equinox give us that little moment of natural balance that is it's identifiable. We know that there's equal amounts of light and dark, and we need them both, and we want to be able to learn how to weave the dark and the light, the yin and the yang, the in and the out, the up and the down. We want to learn how to weave these together as creatives. So I'm so glad that you're here. We are looking at shamanic, alchemical, archetypal, creative ways of being able to engage our own individual creativity so that we become interdependent, co-creative beings. It's very evolutionary and it's very timely. It really is about time for us all, each of us, whoever's interested, to actually engage in the idea of creating progress without pressure, without a lot of heaviness, without a lot of burden. Yeah. There's challenges, absolutely. We have no idea what's going to come to meet us next. So it does us good to practice. And in this natural year, there's really a focus. We're going to get into this much more later on, so I hope you will subscribe to the YouTube channel and to other options that will be offered. We're going to be exploring this entire natural creative year. The idea of looking for the silver linings behind and in and through the dark clouds that come to visit us in our lives individually and collectively. So there's something really wonderful emerging as we move into this particular year and the opening of the East Gate. There's some real opportunities for each and every one of us, and particularly as we come together, the me and the we, as we come together to really sort of notice how these energies visit us, flow through us, lift us, try to pitch us. I mean, there's just so many ways in which we are offered the opportunity to clarify the vision that we have for our lives at any given time. And today, what we want to do is really lean into the idea of being wisely selfish. So I did my little prompt card here. We want to be wisely selfish. That means that we want to be willing to have a breakthrough in the way that we move through the world during these first 90 days of this new natural year. We want to look with eyes that are from our heart, that come from within, rather than our physical eyes necessarily. Of course, we use those and we value those and we're celebrating those, but we also want to make space for the eyes from our own heart and for our third eye, our intuitive guidance, that inner, unseen aspect of each of us that helps us know where to go and how to go and what to do and who to do it with and what to say and why to say it now and all that great creative energy that moves through each of us. So the idea today is to be wisely selfish. This is a concept that has come down through my years of working with Buddhism and hearing the Dalai Lama actually speak about how the Western woman is gifted in a way that is unprecedented. That we are the ones who are going to be able, based upon our education, our our opportunity, the luxurious aspect of our lives that allows us to delve deep and dive in and really be our most creative at any given time. He calls this opportunity for those of us in the Western world to really rise up with this idea of being wisely selfish, taking time for the self. What I like to remind myself through a poem from the Upanishads from way back when is, save the self by the self. Never upset the self. The self is the only friend of self, and the self is the only enemy of self. It's a very incredible creative anthem for our time. For our creative engagement today, in addition to being wisely selfish and sort of clarifying that idea, what would that look like? What would that feel like? What would that sound like if I allowed myself to put my first responsibility, my first ability to respond on my own experience, so that I start from here, from my heart, and I work outward. So for our little creative engagement today, I just opened a journal page, and this is we're calling this having the most important conversation of my life. What's the most important conversation of your life at this moment in time? This is a simple journal page with drawings and collage and cutouts and just, kind of playing with this idea for a while. It can be as minimal as 15 minutes, and it might go on for days, where you just really map out the most important conversation of your life at this time to create an opening, a space to be, ta-da, wisely selfish. This is the second of our 3 days of opening to the East Gate as creatives, as shamanic individuals who are interested in holistic, evolutionary engagement with our own creative energy. Nothing cookie cutter about it. Each and every one of us has a heart song, and each and every one of us is here to express that energy from the heart. This is Donna Iona Drozda at Wren House Studio. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our third of the 3 days of journal prompts and entry through the East Gate into the new natural circadian feminine year. I hope you'll subscribe to the YouTube channel, and tomorrow I'll have a little bit more information about where to go from here. I'm so glad that you are here. It's about time to create progress without pressure. Looking up. See you tomorrow.